Luke 10 verses 36 to 37. Which now of these three, thinkest thou, was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that shewed mercy on him. Then said Jesus unto him, Go, and do thou likewise.
Question. Pastor Wind, on a worldly level, people will do it for profit, as the saying goes, bow someone you think is superior. Of course, there was no such problem in Zion, all because, as the pastor has demonstrated, how to be kind and goodness. Live your life like a good Samaritan. Indeed, under your years of teaching, following a role model, brothers and sisters have been influenced to become courageous people. Perhaps, in the past, when faced with many challenges in life, even when it comes to faith, they will lack the courage to act out. But now we have the courage, influenced by your life, to enable us all to live this unprecedented quality of life, even to have this life. You used to say, we have to find 10 people in our lives to bless them. So, can we similarly define, when we find 10 Samaritans who have helped us before, by blessing them in order, we can make our lives, will your infection lead to a new life?
In fact, everyone is born without this quality. To have this quality, it comes from step-by-step decisions, and subsequently, give birth to it and then choose to stick with it. So, in the persistence, shock is what we need. To take a simple example, when the incident happened, we can have a lot of different reactions, right? However, if in nature, if you have the quality to cherish Samaritan, then you won't care about the loss. In other words, of course, some people practice the truth, there is a so-called stop-loss level, after all. There are rare people in this world who really don't care about life until they die. As a result, people tend to stop losing, in other words, as long as it is safe, they will do certain things. For example, some people, when it comes to hydrogen peroxide incidents, won't kick us when we're down. But that's all, he appreciated this Samaritan quality, only he can't do it, and he certainly won't. Because if you're willing to do it, you will do it even if you have to die. You don't care about your life. Go tell someone. I am from the Church of Zion. I am still going to Zion. Or, I am now going to Zion because of this. In this way, it is the proper attitude not to care about life until death. In fact, we need this shock, as a result, we don't have this trait, to possess the trait of meager, and then appreciate that quality, even vindicated for it. Which means we're making things right, we'll vindicate this matter, for example, you're wrong. I've checked, and it works. Indeed, some of them have the attitude that they don't care about life, even to death. So, in the course of our lives, our experiences on the ground, it's about each of our trajectories. It's a trajectory we didn't know before, now that we know that this trajectory was made for us by God, including our origins, backgrounds, and experiences. Given Zion's experience, after 6,000 years of human history, Zion was born. We come across all the scenarios combined, instead, it is proven by God everywhere. It follows that God has complete control over all the details of history, even the butterfly effect, only 6,000 years later. So many things can come together. In other words, the birth and fate of each of us, it's really a journey. To help us develop and grow in the process, one of the things to be nurtured is the quality of the Samaritan. It depends on how we face the process, this gives birth to varying degrees of Samaritan essence. In response to your question, when we are born with varying degrees of Samaritan essence, it is natural to repay those who have blessed us. In fact, I mentioned the goodness of Samaritans, it is this goodness that we want to bless. If that person has lost his goodness, we can't bless him. This comes from a painful experience in my past, when I asked God, He told me that was not possible. That man was my Samaritan, but then it was ruined before God. That man was Gideon. He was in my life, one of the best Samaritans ever, so I would support him for the rest of his life. In fact, when I went back to Canada in 1994-95, with this intention, he was the first person I planned to support for the rest of my life, but it didn't work out, and the first person was someone else. So, at that time, I was in great pain. Why? Can I bless him again? If I continue to bless him, he will curse more people, including my parents, brother and sisters. I don't want them to go to hell, for at that time, he was on the way to hell. So God reminded me. I didn't know any revelation or scripture at that time. However, God said, he has lost his goodness. Even though he helped you once, you can't bless him again. So, at that time, I decided to split with him. Luke 10 verses 36 to 37. Which now of these three, thinkest thou, was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that shewed mercy on him. Then said Jesus unto him, Go, and do thou likewise.
Now is the time to raise our hands, to kneel before the Lord and sing with fear. We come together with one voice, sacrifice to the King. And so our voices travel far, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit join along. All heaven sings the song that's changing the world. For the deaf will hear, blind will bear witness, the dead shall rise, and it all begins with a single action of faith. Salvation he has become, the Lord is my strength and song. Salvation through his commandments, we're protected, safe from all harm. Salvation, he is the light, illuminates every soul. It's that simple, you're my example. For his love, it endures forevermore.